What's going on, everyone? It's Marcellus back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not Baby Doge is going to continue to crash and whether or not we will still see these 100x gains inside of Baby Doge. So definitely stick around to the end of the video. We're going to cover all of this. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice. Definitely hit that like button and subscribe. But let's get straight to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is what we just now seen in the whole overall crypto market. For one, Bitcoin is down 10% inside of the last 24 hours, 10%, and that is at 20.9k now. So yeah, Bitcoin has went down significantly, and then we see over here Ethereum is now down 12.4% in the last 24 hours, and now we're also seeing all these other cryptos are down. So what we really want to talk about today is whether or not Baby Doge is going to continue to crash and whether or not we're going to actually get those 100x gains still. And something that's actually very surprising, Sheep is only down 2.5%. So I just now noticed that. That's actually really surprising. And you see some other stuff like Leo token and some other stuff down very small. But yeah, this is huge right now. We're having a huge drop in the whole overall crypto market. Everything is taking a sharp dive downwards. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I did predict this. We all were looking at this yesterday for the live stream, the day before that. We're also looking at this in my previous videos all these days before that. I've been talking about the $20,000 support and how we're more than likely going to hit that support very soon. And it's exactly what's happening. So Baby Doge is down 7.9% inside of the last 24 hours. But things aren't all bad. We're going to go over the technicals, so don't worry. But things aren't all bad. We are still getting more and more holders every day. So yesterday we had 1,606,119 people. And today we have 1,606,984 people. So we are still garnering more attention inside of Baby Doge. We're still getting more and more people, almost 1,000 people overnight inside of Baby Doge. So that's definitely really good. It's definitely a very successful day for us. If you look over here, you can see that in the last 24 hours, we burned 17.56 thousand US dollars, which came out to a total of 12.24 trillion Baby Doge. So we're burning a lot. So it's not all bad. But let's talk about this because we are having a crash in the crypto market again. And like I said, a bull trap. Watch my previous videos. I said it's more than likely a bull trap. But hey, we're just going to keep watching it. And it's exactly what happened. So let me talk about how this all came about. So initially, we got rejected all the way back here on the 9th of August, right? It was a huge pump, major pump, but it was overbought. It's way overbought, way overbought. So we knew something bad was going to happen. So as we got rejected there, we tried to come back again after we had a massive drop. We had that massive drop over here to 1450. And this huge drop right here indicates that the major whales all sold all at once. So we had major selling happening all at once, just like we had major buying all at once. Whenever you see huge candlesticks, whether they're green or red, that means that you're having large transactions happening all at once, very large transactions. So that's exactly what happened. Now, if you look at what's happening now, you kind of see it looks a little bit different. So these transactions are spread out a little bit more than what they were before. So as you can see on the 17th, we were really trading between this 1520 area and we're staying above this red area. The red area indicates supply and demand of less demand. Green areas indicate supply and demand of more demand. But notice how we slowly but surely were losing demand for Bitcoin or for really everything. Let's be completely honest. Now, particularly for Baby Doge, you see it slowly started selling out. These aren't large whales selling. Whenever you see it slowly going down like this is retail. Whenever you see it slowly going down. But the second you start to see very large candlesticks, right? That's when you start to have major selling happening with the whales. So the first one that you kind of noticed that was large was right here. So this was yesterday. I don't really do the military time like that. But anyways, this was yesterday, I think around 8 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. And this was a pretty big red candlestick, not as big as it could have been. But that was the first time that we had large sales coming in. And then the next one was over here, and this 22-hour mark that was around 10 p.m. yesterday. And this is military time, so around 10 p.m. And that was the next signal that we're having large selling happening. And then what happened after that? Then we had some more red candlesticks, and they were actually pretty big candlesticks. So then we see over here, we have more red candlesticks at the 23-hour mark of military time, which is about 11 p.m. So yeah, now you see over here around 11 p.m. we're starting to have these major red candlesticks, and then you start to see them coming in like butter and candy. So now you're seeing it going down, 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 down. Retail thinks, oh, this is a good opportunity to buy. I'm going to buy the dip here. And then that's where retail gets back in. And then boom, this is where the whole overall market just starts crashing because this is where the whales continue to sell. Now, before all this happened, a lot of people were talking inside of the crypto space how major whales were selling at very large amounts. And that's a key signal that we're about to have a crash. And what happened? We immediately had a crash after those major whales were selling. And they pretty much warned us what was going to happen. We knew it. And I was warning people, I was like, look, this is a bull trap. Just wait and prepare for it and do what you do to prepare. But anyways, this huge red candlestick here indicates that was a large sale right there. And then this red area here indicates supply and demand of less demand. So you can see we had way less demand in this area. And then we had a lot of purchasing right here. But then it was followed by a lot of selling. So right now, where are we here with the Baby Doge? Now we're back at this area down here at 1300. Really, we're at 1310. So what comes next after this? What we're going to see after this is the 1250 support. Watch any of my videos within the last 3 months. 1250 support has been very significant. Not even the last 3 months. Really, if you watch all my videos within the last year, the 1250 support has held as one of the most major supports for Baby Doge for the whole time period that I've been talking about Baby Doge. The 1250 support is so significant because the second it hits 1250, it's almost an immediate drop every time it hits 1250. I'm going to be completely honest. If we hit 1250, then expect Baby Doge to have a more sharper dive downwards along with the rest of the crypto market. Now, 20K is a very good area of support. So we may actually have enough support to build momentum back up to get back above the 1350 resistance that we have here and eventually back above the 1400 area. But it's going to be pretty hard. Now, you can see over here in the oscillator, we are still having lots of selling happening, and all that selling frenzy, it was a bunch of selling as well. But really what you want to look at for Baby Doge is the 4-hour chart, because this is going to show you the trajectory for Baby Doge in the long term. So right now, what we're seeing here with Baby Doge, we are slowly but surely going down to our little support here of 1250. But something you do want to take in mind is over here. It is saying we are bullish in the 24 hours, last 24 hours by 60%. We are bearish, I mean. But what I'm seeing here and what I'm noticing, this red area is now starting to form, which is supply and demand of less demand. But notice how the indicators say that we're coming off of this little area here that shows that we're about to have an uptrend. So it says uptrend here because we're starting to have some green candlesticks, indicating that we could have some buying that brings us up here to our next support. So you actually may see Baby Doge do a reversal, but you have to remember, you can look back here. The indicators thought we're about to have an uptrend here, but then we had a huge red candlestick, and the indicators cannot amount for whales selling large amounts. The indicators can't tell when the whales are going to sell large amounts. They just can't do that. And then you see over here, this is where we had another huge red candlesticks. And I wonder why. Right before, we were supposed to have a strong uptrend, but then the whales sold huge. And then right here, we were supposed to have another strong uptrend, but then the whales kept selling. And this keeps happening over and over again. So this is really confusing for a lot of people, but I'm going to say this once here. Whenever you see this, let's first go over here to the dark pools and the institutional interest. These parts of the indicators pretty much shows where the institutional investors and the large whales are more than likely going to purchase around. So when you look at this, it's really going to show you, it's really going to give you a better projection of where we're going to be ending up here with Baby Doge and the overall crypto market whenever you had that. And honestly, it's better to look at the dark pools and institutional interest whenever you're looking at it from the perspective of Bitcoin, because let's be honest, institutional investors, they're mainly in on Bitcoin, and we're not going to see much of them inside of Baby Doge, if any, but we are going to see large whales inside of Baby Doge. So let me go back over here and then click this. So first of all, when you see that 1250 support hit, the next area for 1250 to hit, I don't know why the dark pools aren't popping up, but we're just going to keep going. So right now, if you see the 1250 hit, then you're going to end up seeing it going down big time. But our next support after 1250 is all the way down here at 9Z9. So it's possible that we see 9Z9 again. And that was a huge buying opportunity. And if we get that again, that's going to be another huge buying opportunity. So you're definitely going to want to watch out for that. 9Z9 is a huge, huge buying opportunity. So that's where Baby Doge could be going next. But what you really want to be paying attention to during this crash is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is really ruling what everything else is doing, even Baby Doge. Baby Doge has the potential to break off from Bitcoin whenever we have big news about the swap, whenever we have big news about the app, whenever we have big news about the debit card, whenever we have big news about the exchange, whenever we have big news about the wallet, whenever we have big news about the arcade, whenever we have big news about our NFTs, whenever we have big news about our NFT marketplace. You see where I'm going with this. Baby Doge has a lot of utilities that we're rolling out. So we could easily break away from Bitcoin just like that because we have a lot of things that we're doing. But right now, they're really only focusing on the Baby Doge swap. And what's coming up next with the Baby Doge swap? We have the Baby Doge testnet that's already out. And then we're going to be having the Baby Doge mainnet. So when the Baby Doge mainnet comes out, that's probably when you're going to see Baby Doge break off from Bitcoin and set its own trajectory up to the upside. So that's probably when you're going to see Baby Doge entering the bull market again. And it probably won't become bullish until we actually hit that main net again. So whenever we actually have the main net coming out, that's probably going to be the next time when you see Baby Doge becoming bullish. Now, they did mention in the AMA that they are not ready to release the main net. And they said by the end of the month, they probably won't be ready to release it either because there's a lot of errors. So they have to fix those errors. So by the end of the month, they're pretty much confirming that we're not going to have the bull market by the end of the month. But right now, what we could have is a bull market coming in for next month. If sometime next month we have that main net coming out, then that's when we're going to see us breaking away from Bitcoin. But Bitcoin might become bullish by then, and I'm going to show you exactly why Bitcoin may become bullish by then. So first of all, let's go over here and look at Bitcoin. So here is Bitcoin. Let me go ahead and pull up the dark pools and institutional interest. It's going to show when the institutional investors are more likely to hop in and hop out. Notice right now, there's high activity for the institutional interest. So right now, whenever you see this high activity for institutional investors, that's probably high activity for selling. So whenever Bitcoin goes below $21,000 and back down to $20,000, there's high selling because that's where our support is. And that's exactly why you're seeing us dropping down as low as we're doing now. Now the bulls are in control, or the bears are in control of the 24-hour market control by 80% in the last 24 hours. Notice though, if we were to become bullish inside of Bitcoin and we were to get all the way up here, there's going to be low activity right here at 23K because we have big resistance. But if we can get past 23K and get somewhere up here, we're still going to have low activity because we don't have that much interest up here for Bitcoin or for crypto in general. The red areas indicate supply and demand of less demand. There's less demand in this area, but way too much supply. So you're going to see the price doing some really big fluctuations. So right here, as you can see, the low activity expected. If we were to become bullish 24K, yeah, it's going to be hard for us to get above 24K. And what happened last time we tried to get above 24K? What happened the last time we tried to get above this resistance? We got rejected. And that's because institutional investors are not trying to invest inside of Bitcoin above 24K right now because they know something that we don't. They know the market is going to continue to go down. They know inflation is going to continue to go down. Now, next month inside of September, there's supposedly supposed to be another Fed interest rate hike. Well, they're going to have another meeting. And if interest rates are still very high inside the United States and all over the world, if the interest rates are still very high, they're going to rise those interest rates again. So, I mean, if inflation is still high, they're going to rise those interest rates again. So, if we have high inflation by September 22nd, we're going to get another interest rate hike. And I think this is what they're preparing for. And also, Biden just now signed in another deal, or, well, a tax plan, if you want to say. But look, he signed in another plan. And pretty much what this tax plan is going to do is going to apply taxes onto more people, but it's going to make things more cheaper. But you got to think about it like this. In the front end, it's getting cheaper for us. Gas is like $3.26 right now a gallon in Florida. It used to be $4.50. Yeah, that's a huge difference. Now you're going to start seeing those decreases in prices for things up front. But on the back end, they're still hiking the prices up on you. You're going to be paying higher taxes. They're going to be taking more money from you on the back end. But on the front end, you're going to see better returns because let's just face it, everything's going to become a little bit cheaper on the front end. And also, if you think about it, if you look at your pay stubs as we go in with this new plan that Biden signed, you're going to notice your pay stubs, they're going to start taking more money out of your pay stubs. So we're going to be losing money on the back end. So that's just something you have to know about right now, what's going on. And that definitely affects the market. But really, what you want to know about when it comes to these institutional investors is why they are staying away from Bitcoin after $24,000. I'll tell you exactly why. After $24,000 in Bitcoin, that's when the retail investors look at it like we're about to become bullish. And look, when retail investors start to get greedy and think that we're going to become bullish, what do the institutional investors do? That's when they sell and pull the rug on you, because that's when you're going to dump your money in and they're going to pull their money out, because your money makes their money bigger. See, when they put their money in at first, it made your money bigger. When they put their money in all the way down here, right? They put their money in all the way back here, July 26th, all that good stuff. Not even all the way back there. Let's go over here to the 4-hour chart to look at the long term. So the big money, the institutional investors, they put their money in back in June. They put their money way back in here at when Bitcoin hit 18K. And then that's when everybody thought we're going to become bullish. But look, that's not when we're going to become bullish. And look, that's exactly what they did. Look, they put their money in all the way back here at June 18th. And then they just start dumping money in, boom, dumping money in. And then retail investors are like, oh, Bitcoin's going up. We're bullish again. No, we're not bullish again. Bitcoin's going up because the institutional investors are trying to mess with your mind. They're going to invest at the lows. They're going to rise the prices up. And then when you put your money in, the price is going to continue to rise. And their money is going up as your money's going up. You're not going to sell because you think that our resistance is going to stop all the way up here at 28K, like they were saying. They said we're going to stop at 28K. I even thought, maybe we do have the possibility to get to 28K. I'm not above anyone. I thought that could have happened too. That is where our resistance is. Actually, if you look over here, that's where we have less demand for Bitcoin. So why did we stop halfway to 28K? We stopped halfway to 28K because this is all a mind game. Whenever we stopped halfway to 28K, they literally looked at it. They're like, okay, retail investors put so much money in and they're going to keep putting money in, but we might as well sell out on them now because we've already made so much money running it up from Bitcoin to 28K, from 18K all the way up to 25K. And if you want to think about it like this, let's think about it like this. The average, let's just think about it. The average institutional investor is throwing $1 billion in Bitcoin, right? So this right here is, look, million, billion. Average retail or average institutional investors throwing $1 billion into Bitcoin. And they throw that $1 billion into Bitcoin right around that $18,000 area. So let's take their $1 billion. I wish I had that billion. I'm going to have it soon. But anyways, let's take their billion and divide it by Bitcoin's $18,000 that Bitcoin hit. So that gives them 55.5K Bitcoin. Now they sold their Bitcoin out at 25K once they ran it up and tricked the retail investors into throwing their money in to raise their prices up even more. So boom, their 1 billion just now turned to 1.38 billion. So now as inflation's going up and interest rates are going up, as everything's becoming more expensive, as companies are laying off people, and as the economy gets worse, they then pull out and now they have an extra $388 million that they took from you because you thought things were going to become bullish and you put your money in at the top as they put their money in at the bottom. See, when they put it in at the bottom, prices start to go up. You think it's going to become bullish, you put it in right at the middle, prices continue to go up, they sell right at the peak, and then boom, prices go right back down to the 18K where they bought at, and now you bought high, and now you're going to have to sell low to cover that cost. So what you're seeing here is a free $388 million going into institutional investors' wallets, going into the big whales' pockets. Pretty much they're getting free money and it's your money. So that's pretty much what's happening here. The big whales are selling. If you look at our dark pools and institutional interest, we had high activity here, and that's exactly where we had our major red candlesticks indicating that pretty much the institutional investors sold out right here. And then you can see moderate activity here. This is where they start to slow down their selling, and now they're hardly selling any because you want to know what they're doing now? Now they're buying back up now that they sold on you. Now they're going to buy back up. Now you're thinking, oh no, Bitcoin's going to continue to crash. Bitcoin might go back down to 15K. And they're like, now they think Bitcoin's going to go lower. How about we buy now? And then when we run it back up, then they think Bitcoin's going to go higher. And we just keep doing this cycle where we just keep tricking the retail investors to thinking it's going to pump. And then right before it happens, we sell out on them. They sell at the bottom, and then we buy at the bottom, and then we go up to the top. They buy at the top again. We sell again at the top, and then they're like, "Oh, it's crashing again," and then they sell at the bottom again. So this is what's going to keep happening. Is literally a constant cycle, and this is nothing new. This has been happening since the 80s, and it was with the stock market and everything. Like, they always do this. They know what they're doing. They're smart investors, and we can't knock them on that. They're making money, and they know how to do that. So what we got to do is trade like they're trading. But see, we can't do that with Baby Doge. We can do that with Bitcoin, but we can't do that with Baby Doge. It has a 10% buy, it has a 10% sell. So with Baby Doge, what we have to do is hold it. The only reason you're seeing Baby Doge go down is because there's retail investors that are scared because prices are going down, and now they're selling and losing money. Anytime you sell Baby Doge and you're not up 20%, you're losing money. There's a 10% buy, there's a 10% sell. So why all these people are selling, it makes no sense at all. Well, you want to know why they're selling? They're buying at the top and they're selling at the bottom. They're selling because they know nothing about finances and they know nothing out. They just know nothing about finances. So they're starting to sell out and they're getting scared. They need that money and they put too much money in there. They over leverage themselves. They put more than what they're willing to lose. And now they're going down in their investment. And now they're selling their investment at a loss. And that's why you see Baby Doge selling. Honestly, you shouldn't be selling Baby Doge. You should only sell Baby Doge when you're up more than 20%. If you're down any more than anything, then you don't want to sell it. You're losing money. So let's talk about Bitcoin though, because when they're doing this with Bitcoin, look at what just now happened in Bitcoin. Something very important just now happened in Bitcoin. We literally just now hit the peak right here. We just now hit our support here. I mentioned this in all my previous videos. $20,000 is support for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin hits $20,000, institutional investors look at that as a buying opportunity because that is our support. That's why you're seeing there's low activity expected around this area. The institutional investors are now slowing down their sales, which is why you see the bulls are about to take over again by 60%. We're about to get a buyback back into the crypto market. We're actually already seeing it. Right now, we're back up to $21,000. Why is it at $21,000 after it just now hit 20,000? Because the big whales are now buying again. The institutional investors are buying back. We're at 8.8% down instead of 10% now. And that doesn't happen overnight because of retail investors. That happens because of institutional investors. The large whales are seeing this and they're using it as an opportunity to buy in right at the bottom. They're going to run it up. They're going to sell it at the top. You're going to buy it at the top. It's going to go right back down, right? I mean, obviously, we're not going to do it inside of this community because we know better than that. We're not going to buy at the top and sell at the bottom. But when I say I'm really talking about the retail investors that are just buying randomly because of market trends. Really, we're in Baby Doge long term. We're not buying at the top and selling at the bottom. That's not what we do here in Baby Doge. But when I say the retail investors, I'm talking about all the people up in on Bitcoin. They say, oh, Bitcoin's going to the moon at 25K. And then they buy at 25K. And then it goes down to 20K. Oh, Bitcoin's going to 15K. I'm just going to sell and buy back at 15K. Yeah, you're going to sell and try to buy back at 15K. But the whales, they already know what's going to happen. They know what's happening. They're the ones doing this. They're looking at the support. The support is literally at $20,000. And that's where we have more demand. You see, this is the thing with supply and demand. The green area shows supply and demand of more demand. Whenever you see it hit a green area, it's showing that there's high demand in this area, but the supply is not matching the demand. The supply is just not matching the demand. There's very high demand to buy Bitcoin at 20K for institutional investors. But at this time, at 20K, the retail investors, they've already started to dump all their crypto. They're like, oh man, it's going down. We're dumping all our crypto at 20K while the high demand is coming from pretty much the institutional investors. They see you dump your coins, they want to buy your coins. That's why you see there's high demand at this area because they're trying to buy your coins as you sell your coins. So right now, when you see the oscillator here, look at what the oscillator just did. This is crazy. And a lot of people aren't paying attention to this. And a lot of people don't have technical indicators that tell them exactly what's about to happen next, which is why I like to use these indicators. So when you look at this, you can see the selling has peaked. The selling has peaked right here. So what's going to happen? Now it's going to start to go down and trickle to the buying side. Then you're going to see buying coming back in. And then it's going to peak for the buying. And then it's going to go back down. So this buying is probably going to end up bringing us all the way up here to where this is right here, the 23K area. That buying could either bring us there or we could get stopped over here at about 21.9K or 22K. So we're going to see something like that coming very soon for Bitcoin. So definitely prepare for that. But there's going to be a lot of fluctuations here in the market. I just wanted to let everyone know why exactly we're having these fluctuations and what's going to come next. So for Baby Doge, you're going to see Baby Doge probably continue to do what Bitcoin's doing. It's going to fluctuate a lot right now. And you're seeing selling happening, and we might have some more selling, and 1250 support is probably going to happen. And if we break 1250 support, we're probably going to see 9Z9. And if we see 9Z9, then we're probably going to see another pump coming back in, because the whales are going to come back in to buy and then raise up the price and then do the whole cycle all over again. So this is pretty much what's happening right now in the crypto market. And yeah, I definitely expect 100x gains still for Baby Doge, but it's not going to come as soon as you think. By the end of the year, we're not going to see 100x gains. I just don't think it's possible. Only way we see that is if Binance lists us, Coinbase lists us, Qcoin lists us, Crypto.com lists us, Robinhood lists us. You get the gist. Everybody's got to list us in order to see those 100x gains to get the 6Z1. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you all today. I know there's a lot of information packed in here. And I'm going to be completely honest. When I did this video is impromptu, straight off the mind, straight off the dome. And that's because I know exactly what's happening. I've been inside crypto for too long to not know what's happening here. The retail investors are just getting screwed all over again. And the institutional investors are going crazy. They're going ham. The average institutional investor is averaging $388 million gains off their $1 billion. So you got to think about it. If they can make $388 million every single time we have these fluctuations in crypto, why would they not do it? It's $388 million. They could literally do this cycle once and then live for the rest of their life off that one cycle of taking your money. But why would they stop once at taking your money? Why would they take your money once and be done with it? If I could take your money 10 times over and over again, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take all your money. Every single chance I have to take your money, I'm going to take your money and I'm going to put it in my pockets. And that's what they're doing. That is their mentality when they're doing this. Why would they just stop at $1 billion? Why not stop at a 10 billion? Why would you stop at $10 billion after you made it so easily? Why not go up to $100 billion? Like this is literally how they're seeing this. They're going to continue to trade and they're going to continue to do this, and they're going to continue to buy at the bottom and then sell at the top. They're going to continue to do that. But hey, this is all I got for you all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. As always, I'll be back with another video.